Hi students, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about the positive and negative terminals in different components that you'll use for your circuits. So when it comes time to name your new project on Tinkercad circuits, just like we've been doing before, first, last, initial, homeroom, student number, and today I'm going to call it positives and negatives. We're going to be actually using two different components that we haven't talked about. On your right-hand side, both of those are located in the basic component section, so there's no need to change it to all. The first thing we're going to talk about for our power source is our coin battery. It's just a different type of power source. We've been using our AA battery, 1.5 volts. The coin cell battery is a 3-volt battery. And for our light source, we are going to be working with LED lights. That stands for light emitting diode. For your LEDs, you have the option to change the color and change the name. Just for simplicity, I am going to keep mine red today, but you can change yours. I wanted to point out something that is the same as our other battery on our coin battery. There are still two terminals, a positive and a negative terminal. I want to also bring to your attention for this lesson that positive is usually red and negative is usually black. On our LED lights, instead of just saying terminal 1 and terminal 2, the terminals are called, one is cathode and one is anode. One of them is positive and one of them is negative. So I found this great graphic online. I'm going to pull up because I can get confused and I think, oh no, which one's positive, which one's negative? So this graphic says, don't panic, and we're going to use PANIC to remember. Positive is anode, negative is cathode. So whenever you're thinking, oh no, which one is which? Think of this graphic. Don't panic. Okay, so here, cathode, anode. Remember, don't panic. Positive is anode, the little longer prong, and negative is cathode. Today specifically, we are going to be working with making a parallel circuit using coin batteries and LEDs. When we make a circuit, the electricity flows from the negative terminal back into the positive terminal to make it a complete circuit. So for this sake, if I want to line them up, I want all my positives to be on one side or lined up and my negatives to line up. And I know here my positive is this way. So I'm going to take my coin battery and I want to rotate it so my negative is on top, and then I want this negative prong to be on top as well. So I'm going to rotate this LED and then rotate this LED. So we said electricity flows from the negative terminal to the positive terminal. So I want to start my wire coming out of my negative terminal of my coin battery and going into the negative terminal of my first LED. I know we've practiced making our wires in other lessons, but since we're starting to specifically talk about negatives and positives, I want to make sure that we're designing and making all of our negative components in black to go with this and all our positive components in red. So since this wire is connecting two negative terminals, I'm going to change the color of the wire to black. Excellent. I am going to continue my circuit by clicking on this cathode, or negative terminal, and going to my next LED's negative terminal, the cathode, and I'm going to change it again to black. Now, we see that our power has come out of the negative side, and I want to go back into the positive side. So I am going to hover over my anode or positive terminal and go back the parallel circuit to this anode. And now, since I'm talking about positives, I want to change my wire color to red. And I'm going to do it one more time from this anode or positive terminal back to the positive terminal in the battery. And again, change it to red. Now I'm ready to start my simulation. When I press start, I see that my LEDs have lit up. For right now, this is just telling you that there is a little bit too much milliamperes of energy going into the LEDs. Ignore that for now. We just want to concentrate on getting our LEDs to light up. Okay. Now I want to demonstrate for you why it is so important to connect our negative terminals to each other and then our positive terminals to each other. So I am going to drag another set of LEDs and one more coin battery. I'm going to rotate my coin battery a little bit so that my positives are all on one side here, here, and here, and all my negatives are on one side. Here's my cathode, and here's my negative terminal. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to rotate the coin battery back to its original position because I want to show you the opposite effect. So in this example, we took our wires and connected our negative terminal to a negative terminal. Well, here, if I take my negative terminal and connect it to a positive terminal, and then do the same up here, and then go back down the other side and connect from my negative or cathode terminal to my positive battery, I want to show you what happens when I start my simulation. This one is not connected correctly, so it does not light up, whereas this one does. Now I want you to practice making your own parallel circuits using coin batteries and LEDs. And when you're practicing, make sure that you're connecting your negative terminals and making that wire black. And then you're connecting your positive terminals and making that wire red. Enjoy.